Welcome back to my channel. So I know this is going to sound odd, but I don't believe in happiness. I feel it's an illusion. I feel happiness is something that's dependent upon the absence of distress. And how realistic is that? All right, so you're happy until all of a sudden something happens and you're not happy. You know, you can get up in the morning and it could be a bright sunny day. You can get in the car and your favorite tune's on the radio, and you know, maybe there's little to no traffic and you actually get a parking space, and you go to work and then you see who you're working with, and that's the end of happy. And you're like, oh my God, you know, I have to work with that miserable soul. So happiness is very fragile, and it's very dependent on everything going your way or everything going just so. And I don't think that's realistic, so I tend to not strive for being happy. I offer you instead striving to be joyful, striving to stay connected to joy. Because joy is something very different and far more sustainable. So happiness is really a collection of feelings, and it can run the range of, you know, feeling decent to feeling ecstatic. And again, it's so dependent on everything going your way, where joy is a realization. It really is a knowing. It's an intuitive connection with something greater than yourself. It's knowing that you belong to something that is indeed greater than yourself. So if we're talking about the joy of staying connected to what you do as a professional caregiver, we're really tapping into the understanding that the joy of that is knowing that what you do as an individual practitioner is just amazing, but what you do as a professional caregiving body actually does miracles. And it's really understanding that it's the synergy that really is the essence of the power of being part of the, you know, the tribe of professional caregivers. So really, it's important to understand that you deserve so much more than just happy. You deserve to be joyful, and you deserve to be connected to the joy of what you do in an unending manner. So I really hope that you will decide to choose joy, because happiness is just not enough. You guys are terrific, and happiness is not enough. So joy is something stronger. It's far less common, but it is a much stronger feeling. And again, it's understanding that you are connected to something greater than yourself. It's a sense of belonging. And that sense of belonging sustains you regardless of what shows up on any particular given day, what shows up on an assignment, what part of a plan goes well or doesn't go well, you know, what's going on in your personal life. The joy really is in knowing that you belong to something greater than yourself, and that collective body really does create miracles. So, joy is the result of a lot of hope, and a lot of faith, and a lot of love. Have you ever really noticed anybody who is a really joyful person? Have you ever been around someone who's truly joyful? They're annoying. You know, they're kind of bubbly and, you know, always and wow, yay, and you're thinking to yourself, what part of the day are you not getting, because it's all falling down around our ears. I had the honor of working with a housekeeper named Iris in a past life. And this housekeeper was the most joyful person I knew, and conventionally she probably had no reason to be what we would consider joyful or even happy. She lost everything in the Superstorm Sandy catastrophe. Her home was flooded, she lost her car, the only thing she had was her job, and yet she came to work and she was one of the housekeepers, and how she interacted with the patients and the residents in that subacute care center was breathtaking. She danced with brooms and mops. She sang in the rooms. She would dance with people and, you know, dance and do little conga things with people in wheelchairs. She was indeed just the most joyful soul I ever met. And when I said to her, especially after, you know, the reality of everything that all the possessions she lost in Hurricane Sandy, you know, she said to me, it's just stuff, Phyllis, it's just stuff. She said, I didn't lose one family member, we're all healthy. And what the insurance doesn't take care of, we probably didn't need, and we'll be fine. So, you know, everybody at work rallied around her, as did our employer. It's that kind of mentality that the sun is still there no matter how cloudy or rainy or horrific the storm around you is that that sun is indeed going to come out again. So having that kind of sense of inevitability, that knowing that good things are still there and that you are connected to something greater than yourself, really translates into a powerful practice or philosophy with which you can navigate your life. So I really do hope that when you are considering, whether I'm happy or not, or whether my job, my role as a professional caregiver or my role as a family caregiver makes me happy or not, that you'll rethink that in understanding that probably the more meaningful, deeper question to ask is what I'm doing feeding my soul and giving me joy? Because that is indeed powerful.